welcome back to the new season of the We Are Flora Pearl podcast. This is episode 1. My name is Nisaa Muhammad, and I am going to step aside and introduce the one, the only, the shero with the dream, who is the founder of the Flora Pearl Foundation, Miss Latasha J. Humphrey.
Thank you for the gracious introduction. I very much so appreciate it, and I am very grateful that we're in the 2023 season. So I know, woo woo.
And you used a wonderful word, season. I love it because we're in the middle of fall? And fall is always like the changing season where trees lose their leaves and things happen. And, nature is really taking its time to get ready to rest. So before we get more into that, I gotta ask, how are you feeling today?
You know what? I would say mellow. I guess it's fall because it's not quite winter yet. So we're into the fall season and, it gets cooler and it's just kind of a mellow time. So that's how I'm feeling today, along with just how the weather is right now too.
I like that. Now I like how you said like, oh yeah, we're not necessarily in winter. I don't think winter knows that. That's just me though. I don't think winter is aware that we are not quite there yet. So if you could holler at her and let her know that we have not approved her message, that would be big lit, okay?
First of all, where we live, let's be clear. Now, the weather don't know whether it is where we stay because literally you could have 30 degrees in the morning and by noon it is a good 100.
You're not lying. But yesterday, the disrespect. Like I was literally outside and I was like, I don't think this is the life that I, as a Black woman who's supposed to be living ease, I don't think I'm supposed to be living this way. Like it was very much giving, I don't want to do this anymore. I was very unhappy, but we thugged it out. I thought this was the South. Somebody told me a complete story, okay? I was completely devastated yesterday coming outside. I was like, this is not cute.
This is not cute, right? No. Yeah.
But how am I feeling today? I want to say mellow as well. It's been a very chill day and I'm happy about that. It's been a very chill weekend. And after not having said chill weekend for so long, I'm literally basking in the fact that I haven't had to do too much of nothing this weekend, which for me is like the biggest deal because I'm always on the go. The go is always on me. We are always on each other. So I'm extremely grateful for the opportunity to like unwind and all that good stuff. We were talking about seasons earlier, but Humphrey used that word. And I think it's an important word because that's how life moves. Life moves in seasons. And we can talk about the nature of it all. We can talk about like how the animals do. But I really want to talk about how we as people do when we move into different seasons. So before we get there, Miss Humphrey, do you want to read our disclaimer so the people can know that they can try a lot of things, but not us?
All right. The views and opinions expressed in We Are Flora Pearl podcast are those of the panelists and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the Flora Pearl Foundation Incorporated or any of its affiliated entities.
You just read that so lovely. I love it. It's so professional. It's so professional before we get on here and nuck while we buck. It really is.
That's one of my favorites too, back in the day. Nuck if you buck.
Right? It's like, oh, they're so peaceful. Oh no, we're coming to shake. No.
Talking about
No, seriously, we do like to shake the table, but if you all have kept up with the other seasons of this wonderful podcast, you know that we get into it. Like we talk about the topics. It's not always pretty. Sometimes it's gut-wrenching. Sometimes it's heavy, but we always leave informed and feeling better. But this season, there's that word again, y'all. This season, we decided we wanted to do something that felt as good as we aspire and want to manifest to feel. And so, yeah, we're going to keep it light, okay? I'm talking about light, like 6 a.m. in a cartoon movie when they on their way to school. So when I say this is a new season or you're in a season of your life, what does that make you think about?
It is just that. I feel like new beginning. I would think of this part of my journey because like you were saying earlier, life, it tends to move in seasons and you have those high moment and then you have those low lows in a way, you have the high highs and low lows. So I think about that when I think about seasons. And you were saying like basically leading into the seasons, or what was the second part of it?
Coming out of it, like how everything is shedding.
The first thing I think about is a tree or just just any living thing, like outside, the grass to the flowers and those different things, like they shed. And you think about even with animals, where it's shedding, so if you're living in a living thing, I think there are things that you shed outright and we can see it. And I think we see those things like the trees or the leaves falling. But even within us individually, we do shed. It just may not always be where we see it, like we see those particular things outside.
Oh, I like that. We shed, but we may not see it like we see the things outside. That is huge. Because we talk all the time, of course, but we were talking about, it brings to mind, we had a conversation about how being in the moment, you never really acknowledge, or you're not able to acknowledge the stuff that you are in the moment is what you prayed for it previously in that previous season. So what you just said, it kind of brought me there where it's like, that is what a season is. A season is where you've done all of the work. Like you think of squirrels, they all year long, they hustle. They hustling. Like a squirrel's never not in a hustle. And then they have this season where they get to just do nothing.
Right.
They just get to chill, kick back, shed their fur. Like, this is all the work that I did. And now I get to soak in the ambiance of my hard work and my sacrifices. And that is also a part of the season. It's like, yeah, you can hustle and bustle and do and bend over backwards. But are you taking time to really rest and settle in on the fact that, like, over this time, I did this and I did this and I was there, but now I'm here and I'm doing better and I'm going for it. And it's like, are you really taking that in?
It's amazing you said that, though. I don't think we do enough of basking in the moment. Personally, even me, there have been moments that passed and it was like, wow, that did happen. Or as I reflect and look over my life, it really is like, oh, I did do that. But because I didn't really own it and appreciate it, it passed. And then you get to look back and it's still a part of you. But I'm learning that more now, that I'm going to pat myself on the back, like celebrate this moment, girl, and be okay with it. Like, we're not passing this moment by. We're going to stay in this one for a minute and it's going to be all right.
And that's the soundbite right there. That is it right there. Celebrate this moment, girl.
What you mean? We ain't going nowhere right now. Like, let's stay right here. I like this.
No, I think that's so important, especially for like young Black girls or Black women in general. It's like, when do we ever get told it's okay to rest? Like, I woke up this morning, I ain't gonna hold you. I woke up and I was like, I wish there was a day where I could just do nothing and like sleep in and stuff like that, because my body naturally is going to wake me up early. And so I did. I hopped on Google and I was like, why aren't I able to sleep? And I came across this article or something published, but it basically was saying that for a lot of Black and brown children, women specifically, there was no resting in our households growing up. It was like, you're up every day of the week early doing something. You're either in school or you're cleaning or you're in church. And so there are a lot of young women now who are like, no, we stayed in bed. Like, in our adult age, it's like, I want to stay in bed and rest. I'm in the season of rest.
And unapologetically do so.
That part. Like, there's
like,
no
what
song
you
about
talking
this.
about? I don't have a wait. Why are you? Don't even ask, because this is an unapologetic moment. Like, this what's happening. You don't have to be here. That's my thing. Like this is what we doing,
right?
And we is like, me, myself, and I, as you say.
What Queen Latifah say? She said it's just enough room for a queen. It's a queen size bed. Like, please, go away. Yeah, it very much is that. Because I don't think, like, I have a cousin, love her to death. She lets her kids sleep in. And, they go to school and then that's kind of their thing. That's what they do. And their only responsibility is keep their room clean. I love that for them. I was like, can you parent me?
That's what's up. What?
And that's not to take anything away from my parents. They did a wonderful job, clearly, because hello. But
yeah, I know, right?
I love the soft life for these brown Black children. I really do.
You know what? But this is the thing, Nisaa, and we talked about this a lot. And one of my desires as a Black woman, be okay with embracing the soft life and declaring that is one of my desires. Like, that is okay. And that is something that's so deep for me at 50 to get to this space and really not live to regret, because I don't. Some things you did what you knew to do at the time or whatever, but definitely stepping into these years most recently, realizing what that looks like, that I truly desire it, and owning it and really walking in that on my everyday journey. Like that's what's like, that is so deep. So I do desire for those around me, definitely the Black women around me, Black girls, giving them permission. And a lot of times it's us modeling that where they see it and it's like, they're like, that's what's up. And it's okay because this person that I see that's right here, like they're doing it. So it's available. That's how I look at that.
Yeah, I love that. And especially the modeling it part. If y'all don't know by now, I'm a big advocate for, I am a huge advocate for Black women being happy, baby. Like, let me tell you. So my niece, she's 4 now. My niece does this thing where she comes over here with all 24,000 of her uncles and her TT, who is that TT. And she is completely helpless to do all things. She doesn't know how to walk anymore. All of a sudden, she can't pour her juice. She doesn't know how to open her iPad, which doesn't have a single password. And you know what? I'm okay with that. Like
I love it.
It's to the point where sis be like, I don't know how to do my ABCs. Can you teach me? Yes, girl. Yes, girl. Like, please act this way. I encourage all the behavior because it's like, struggle for what? Like, there's nothing in life that I'll look at it and be like, yes, I want to work so hard that I'm tired to the bone. And that's with all respect to our ancestors and our great grands and
Absolutely.
our grands. Yeah, because they did what they had to survive. But at this big age, I don't want to just survive. I want to enjoy. Like my obituary, and I tell myself this all the time, my obituary is not going to say she was a hard worker and she this and she that and she sacrificed. My obituary is going to say she twerked, she traveled, she had a good time. That's literally what it is. And I'm okay.
But you know what? And the thing about that, when you just said even about our ancestors, and I read something recently, it was more so on the mental space, and I have to see it, but it talked about how the freed slave didn't get to do a group therapy session. Right now, we're walking around with a lot of trauma in our DNA and having to kind of work it out ourselves. I'm really saying our ancestors, they did do those things. And when they kind of use that term, seeing where they crawl so you could walk, I'm just like, to me, how I honor them. Oh, try not to get emotional right now. But I feel like in a way, how to honor them, it is to represent the bloodline and it is to enjoy it though, because a lot of times that's not what they got to do. So if this is what I can do to be able to be, to honor them, to represent in this space, and for those that are connected to me through purpose, to be able to give to them, whether it's through, like I said, an example, you modeling this, but also being able to give a hand up, right? And I talk about that with my grandma Flora, with doing that. They did that so that we could have a life that's softer, I feel. Those things, they thought about us. When we think about the 60s and go back even further, however, then when they were marching and doing those different things, it's because they got hit with hoses and tracked by dogs. It was because they said it can't be like this forever because we are looking for who's ahead. So that's why I'm like, that's us to take the baton now and we're to move it forward and we're to stand on their shoulders and make them proud, but also be proud within ourselves. And that means that it should be easier, right? It shouldn't be a struggle all the time.
Yeah. And for those of you who may not understand it, maybe it's not clicking, let me allow it to click for you. Think about it like, Think about it like this, right? Like if your parents worked hard all their lives so that you never had to work. Imagine them giving you said money that they worked hard for so you never had to work and you blew it in the casino. Or you never took the money, you just let it sit there, but you continue to work hard and harder and harder, and the money just sat there. To me, that's a disrespect. It's like, so your sacrifices, your blood, your sweat, your tears, your try hard meant nothing to me. That's one concept. So really, in reality, when we're resting, we're telling our ancestors, our great grands and our grands, thank you. Thank you for creating a space where I'm allowed to do this. That's what's up. I'll take it. I appreciate it. Because the fact of the matter is when we think about it, a lot of us will never be called to make the sacrifices that our great grands and our grands and our ancestors did, right? Never. But if we were, this was some type of time, space, reality war where we was going back to the future of the Black, do you think that you really would be able to stand and handle? Probably not. This is a very spoiled, instant gratification generation.
And I think with that, I want them to balance that. I don't think it's wrong to desire things, to say, you know, I want that, and you want to see it happen, right? But in this time, space, reality, it is the putting in the work. You got to do something because of where it is. That's how Earth is. Like, you know, it's putting in some type of work. However, there's to be a balance, though. I think where our elders, they get a little frustrated with the current generation. Sometimes it is because there is this instant gratification gratification. It's this, I want this right now, right now, right now. And not really understanding where the seed was planted and how you even got to this. And I think if they were honored more, because I really do my best all the time to make sure I take moments really and honor our ancestors, honor them, honor even our elders. Now for what y'all did do, we acknowledge what was done prior. And there's going to be a balance in how we're living. So we're not just out here get it or gimme.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I definitely think that's important. It's up to those, like the adults beforehand. I guess now I fit in that category, right? Because I got generations under me, but it is like, it's important that we teach. Like the young people have to be educated so that our history and the realities of what it is, so what it took to get here doesn't fall in the airship. Like it has to be where it's like, it's not pretty, it's not fun, it's not comfortable. Let me tell you just a little bit of story about why you need to be in school acting like you got some sense, or why when you see that older lady sitting at the bus stop, you don't be cussing around her or cutting up food, or why you need to respect Black women. Like it really needs to be some type of a lesson taught, and even for themselves, so that when these young Black children walk outside, they don't feel like all the world is, or all their life is to be beat down or not feel well about themselves, or they just, completely unaware. Ain't nothing sadder than an ignorant Black child. That's the fact of the matter. As Black people, we're not allowed to be unaware. That bliss of ignorance, that is the most that is so unsafe. That is so unsafe.
Yeah.
But we get
on so many levels.
Like it's so like when I hear certain things, I'm just like, nobody told you this.
Right.
Like at all. Like I was on
and it's
TikTok.
beyond them not telling it in school. Like, maybe they're not, but then there's a responsibility that you have within yourself to desire to know more.
Absolutely.
About where you came from.
Absolutely. Because I was on TikTok and I'm gonna step off of that.
And there's too much stuff out here now, Nisaa. Like before, we had to go searching now, and it's like, okay, but go ahead, because I'm like,
no,
y'all got too much.
One thing about it, the other side of Gen Z, they are historians. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Come on. So I know it's out here.
The babies can tell you who had the first jail set back in 1800. Stop playing with them, okay?
Right.
These are some powerful babies out here. They are magical in the Black way. Then you got the other side who there's like, oh, I thought Klansman was something that they made up. What? Okay. What you mean? You joking, right? Okay, that's fine. Yeah. But since we are talking about season, what is your favorite season? Let me ask you that. What's your favorite season?
I'm gonna say fall and spring, because the other two, they can be extreme. You would say winter, not for real. So I'm originally from Chicago, right? So winter up there. Let me say, the only thing I would say about down here with the winter is that because the city can shut down. Like if it is too icy, if it's too whatever, up there, it doesn't matter. I've literally been at family functions where it was up like 12 feet and then they came out, the machines was out pushing stuff out of the way and everybody came to the family function. Now down here, it's like that. It's a wrap. Everybody knows nobody's coming. You cancel it, right? Okay. But so that's with that. But I'm saying liking it because of the freshness, I feel. So into the fall, but definitely even the spring, I love the color. Just how, everything begins to become anew. And as I've learned more, right, that's really supposed to be like the new year, but I won't go there. Like in the April, and it's kind of like that's the beginning of the new year, but I'm gonna leave it right there. But so I guess if I would say just overall, it would be springtime.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you?
I love summer. I'm a hot girl at heart, always a fan.
You were,
and before hot girls, there was Coochie Mamas, and I love the and I'm from Ohio, Midwest stand up, period, all day, right? Go Bucks. But I'm from Ohio, and in the summertime, the city growing up, there was the Juneteenth festival at Franklin Park, there was the Calm Fest downtown, there was the Boom downtown, like it was always something charged, and we grew up real Black. Where I'm from, real Black. And so I love the summer. Everybody's outside. The girls are cute. We glowing. The boys is playing their ball. Like it just really is. The city is charged with an atmosphere of growing up. It was charged with an atmosphere of just excellence and excitement and community. And so I've
Yeah.
always been a summer lover, and I don't care where I'm at. I don't care what's going on. If I go somewhere during the summer months, oh baby, we is outside. What's the people doing? So I love summer. I don't care about the heat. I'll get a fan or I'll just down, but I love summertime. It always does me so well. It always does.
I do, and I love the sun. I do. It's that heat though, because I sweat. It's
Me
on a
too.
whole nother level. It's like, whoa, but no, you right. The hot girl summer, that's you for real. I definitely, I can respect it, is my point.
Sweat, I don't care. Listen, I'm from that area where, you know, we used to sweat up in the club, sweat. Been on, look at your body. So I do it. I get my little towel, dab me down, baby, but I'm glistening, and it's a glisten, not a slap, just a little glisten.
Right, okay. Well, I'm gonna let you glisten because I sweat. So.
So we know spring is your favorite season, but what season of your life do you think that you're in this moment? And I know you were saying like the season of like the soft life, but what do you think it took to get you here? And was it worth it? Because, you know, they say hindsight is like 2020, and sometimes it's like, oh, if I could have did this different, I would have. So the season that you're in, do you think that whatever it took to get you here, it was worth that journey?
Yes. I do. I think that I am one where I say I don't live to regret. And I stand on that because I think that you can always go back and be like, if I did this different, if I did that. My thing is about learning from those things that happened. What was the lesson? That's what I ask more now than ever. And even going back as I've looked over, you know, because everybody didn't make it to 50, right? And so being able to look back and say, yeah, these were some things that I did well. And then these were some things that the lesson came, and what is the lesson so that I can learn better in these seasons. So I would say all of the decisions, everything, no matter how challenging some were and where it was a season of struggle at times, to be able to get to this moment, I'm very grateful for being able to stand in this space on the other side of so many things that have occurred. So yes, because it's being around the people, places, and things that are a blessing, and also being able to release those people, places, and things that no longer serve. I've gained so much wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, having experienced things. And I don't know, it's just it can be emotional, right? Like, and I don't know about bittersweet, but it really is the gratitude. And I heard someone say recently, I got that from him, where he said the real swag is in the gratitude. And I feel like that's a season of what I'm in now more than ever.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. And let's be clear, not only is she 50 and she fly. So be clear, okay?
Hey, I take it all. I take it all. Because, you know, you look at that, like sometimes you look at old photos and just old places and where you've been. And of course you change through the years. I get, you know, you have some people who they say, you know, they may say the same or whatever. But I do feel like I've grown and I've put on pounds and those different things. So it's a little bit different, of course, what I was 20-some years ago. But it's like, even with that, being able to wear it and wear it well in a lot of ways and just own it, you know? Oh, yeah. I have my days. There's certain days. Huh?
But Mother Badu said, you know you a lot of woman. To divide the pie. Yeah, period. That's
Right.
50 cakes. No slices for you.
Yeah, I take it. But no, that's what's up. That's a part of it. You know, that's a part of the journey, all of that. So
I love that. That's beautiful. Where am I in my journey? I am, and I don't know if it's because I'm quote unquote young or what, but I'm seriously in my give no S season.
I love it.
Like and Miss Humphrey will tell you, I know a lot of people think it's a joke, it's a gag. No.
Yeah.
Like I know there's a song Nipsey Hussle, may he rest in peace. It's called I Don't Give It. And I don't.
Yeah.
And I think because I gave a little bit when I was young, and then somewhere in those teen years, I gave a little too much. And then my early 20s, I gave a little too much. And then I realized one day that if I'm giving all the F's, everybody else gets to keep theirs. So I decided to go ahead and take mine back. And I can't remember who it was. Was it Sidney Poitier? He said, I give your issues back to you.
Ooh.
But I like that. I
I
like that a lot
do.
because here's the thing. They're yours. I didn't have an issue. I walked up in this thing, calm, cool, collected, and super cute. And that's how I'm
Come
going to be.
on.
And so I'm in an era where I don't, people be like, oh, do you mind? I do. Do you want to? I don't. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. And I found that when I stand in that, and I really do, I say it all the time. I was at the car dealership a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, and I literally said, I am a princess and I don't desire anything that makes my life harder. I'm the baby. They cradle me. Like I don't, I don't understand anything
Mm.
that pertains to hard labor or anything that's emotionally strenuous or anything that makes me feel like I am not worthy of being all right. The people, places, and things that bring that up out of me, they can go. I don't care about it. And when I can really sit and focus on the things that I love and that matter, those are the things that multiply in my life. So I don't care about nothing. And
No,
people
that
think
is
it's
a
strange.
beautiful.
Yeah, and people think it's strange or they think it's a facade, but it's like, baby, I will meet you on a Tuesday. We could spend 25 years together. The 26th year you act up, I will forget you from the year going back. You ain't never existed in this world.
Hey, I mean, it is possible now.
Yeah.
It's
And I don't regret a
possible to do
single.
that,
Yeah.
right?
And I don't regret a single thing that got me here. I needed it. Otherwise,
Mhm.
it terrifies me that I could possibly still be of servitude to other people mentally, emotionally, physically, and I'm left with nothing. So I don't regret nothing. I'd do it again. I would do it
Mhm.
again. And I
Because
would.
you think about it, if it was different, like if
Mhm.
you did some different things, if you go back and be like, well, I should do this, this, and this, or whatever, who's to say that it's going to be where you want it to be if you change those different things, like, or would be better, is what I mean, than where you are now. So I feel like what you chose this go round the sun, this is
Mhm.
kind of what it is.
And
And
it
you
looks good.
always can do more. Like you can always make a different choice with the information that you have. I'm not necessarily feeling as though I do feel like I've lived. Like I'm not talking about perfection. I'm thinking back though, it's like, oh, I can say I experienced this or I experienced this or whatever. And even when it comes to love, people like what they regret, it's like, yeah, I mean, you can't be like certain people you maybe dealt with, they weren't the better choice for you.
Yeah.
However, I am capable of loving though. That's the thing. Like some people, they don't have that, they don't trust, they don't whatever. It's like, no, that's what's up.
Yeah. Like Eartha Kitt. I love that the kids are rediscovering the greats, right? And she's on
Wow,
TikTok.
yeah.
There's this clip where she's like, I love who loves me. Like there's no man that's meant to be in my life that's gonna come in my life and be upset that I love myself. And I'm like, girl, tell the
Mhm.
raggities again. Tell them one more time.
Mhm. And sometimes in that, learning to love yourself. I think there are certain instances where, say, maybe you don't know really, and then you run into someone and say it wasn't the best or whatever. My thing is, what I choose not to do is harp on that forever, ever, amen. Like, we're not gonna, it have happened in the past and I'm still harping on that. It's like I learned the lesson now. You can reference it in conversation or somewhere you're like, yeah, I've experienced that because X, Y, and Z or whatever.
Yeah.
But you've loved or you've whatever, like you are learning even more about yourself. And I think that is the biggest thing I give to the younger generation and definitely young women, young Black women in particular, where learning a lot of inner, I know people talk about self-love a lot now. I'm talking about self-awareness too. Like you were saying earlier, I think that is so key, Nisaa, when you said them being aware. Like you don't have an excuse to be unaware. Like you should be aware of situations and things, definitely relating to your culture, your race, and different things like that. Like you should know those things. But it's like being self-aware, that is so deep for me. Like that has been one of the best things. I would say at least one of them in moving into these years recently, becoming more self-aware. Like that is priceless to me.
Yeah, because when you're self-aware, can't nobody get over on you because you already know, like you know everything about yourself. You know about yourself in this moment, and you are open to learning and seeing going forward. And it's a beautiful thing because it's like I'm in control of this ship. Like me and God, we got the handlebars on this thing, baby.
Come
I love
on.
that.
Yeah, I
That's a
love that.
beautiful.
That's what's up. We got the
Yeah.
handlebars.
So you said it. You said that what you would leave with women and girls. So I want to ask you because we rounded up. You know, we promised we was gonna keep this thing a little contained there. So you said we rounded up.
Bye-bye.
If you could, what do you think your 10-year-old self would think of you today? 10-year-old Latasha, what would she think at 50?
Wow. I think she would say, I knew you could do it. I knew it was possible. Like, I know I dreamed the dream and I dreamed of what the possibilities could be, but I'm grateful for where you've taken us, you know?
Oh, Miss Humphrey.
Yeah, I think that's about you about to have.
Oh, that's so beautiful. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, because too, like I think about what 10-year-old experienced even in seeing, different things. And that's what I really feel. I really feel that I'm proud of where you've been able to take us. I embrace that and I'm grateful. And that's why I was like being kinder to myself and realizing. And I think when you said it about giving 0 Fs, and it's really like that, like no disrespect to anyone per se. It really is though that when you are like, I just be, like, I don't owe the performative energy to anyone. I don't owe to try to show it. Before that was kind of the thing where you have to do whatever and you have to show, and it can carry over, into other years where you're still healing through trauma, you're experiencing things still. Yeah. And it's like to get to a space though where you are like, I don't have to perform. Like when you look back really at things you've accomplished, and that's what I talked about earlier, where you are seeing kind of what you have done because you didn't sit in it. So you didn't even think, you're like, oh, well, wait, like I did go here, or I do remember experiencing that. Right. And it's like, now I'm not trying to go anywhere anytime soon, but I do feel like I have lived a lot and I am grateful. So yeah.
That's beautiful. I'm not going to get too heavy into our running on time, but it's beautiful that your inner child, because that inner child, that's that big deal. Goodness, 10-year-old Nisaa. What was 10-year-old Nisaa? 10-year-old Nisaa would say keep it up, because at 10 I was off the chain in a good way. So at 10 years old I said whatever came to mind. It was before everyone kind of got their hands on and were kind of and mold me into the perfect quote unquote young lady and this, that, and the third. Nisaa said whatever was on her mind. And at one point I lost that for a little bit, thinking I had to be and had to do. And then I recently felt, not recently, but I did find her again, because it's been some years. She's been kicking it with me. But she would say literally like, keep it up, like keep that foot on the next and keep not giving. That's how I started. And my mother would tell you I was not the nicest kid growing up. People would come and try to hold me and talk to me, and I'd be like, no. No, and no, and no. And so I'm glad that's what I'm doing. And 10-year-old me, we gonna continue to do it.
Rock it out.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's it. Just keep that, because I lost it for a minute. That was an awful time in life. That whole whatever it was an awful time. So I'm glad she back. Me, Vanessa, and Tanya, we chilling.
I love it.
Yeah, that's what she would tell me, is keep that foot on the next and keep not giving. So yeah.
It's beautiful. It really is. I love that.
So I'll ask the audience, y'all tapped into this video. Let us know. Drop it down in the comments if y'all want to go on the Instagram and let us know. Miss Humphrey, what's the Instagram name? Let the people know.
It is at Flora Pearl Foundation, even on Facebook as well.
Because we want to know, we really do. What would your 10-year-old self say to you now? And even if you want to tell us your favorite season, if you want to let us know what season you're in, because this is you season. Like, it's not just a one-time thing. It's not just when things are going well. You season is 24/7, 365. And even when you physically leave and that spirit is still resounding through this earth, you're still going to be here. It's still going to be you season. So let us know in the comments below. Make sure you check back in with us. Follow, like, comment, subscribe. Check in with us. We'll check in with you. Miss Humphrey, any closing words for the people?
Keep shining.
Oh, I love it. So y'all, we will see you next time on the We Are Flora Pearl podcast. Peace.